Hands of Dominion, Zeus is here with a priority warning for every Julius player. Many are building him like a normal tank, but Julius does not survive through armor alone. His real protection comes from a mechanic most players underestimate before spending resources. Watch this carefully. Julius is a tank, but he is not an ordinary tank. Most tanks survive because they have very high armor, very high magic defense, or a huge health pool that allows them to stay alive under pressure. But Julius is different. If we look at his stats, he has around 1.2 million health, which is good, but his armor is around 38,000 and his magic defense is around 31,000. For a tank, this is actually very low. Many other tanks can easily reach more than 50,000 armor or magic defense, sometimes even more depending on their development and team support. Julius is not in that same category when we look only at raw defensive stats. So if you judge him only by armor and magic defense, he may look weaker than other tanks. But this is where his real power comes in. Julius fills this defensive gap with his defense matrix. This shield is the core of his entire kit. He surrounds his team with the defense matrix, and this shield absorbs incoming damage before the heroes themselves take the hit. So instead of relying only on armor and magic defense, Julius protects himself and the entire team through shield mechanics. His defense matrix can absorb around 320,000 damage. And when the shield is destroyed, every allied hero receives healing, around 58,000 health. This means Julius is not only preventing damage, but also helping the team recover once the shield breaks. That combination of protection and healing is what makes him so valuable. And this is not the only shield Julius brings. He also has Copycat Device, which gives another shield with around 132,000 capacity. Then we have 9 Lives Engine, which gives armor and magic defense bonuses, around 21,000 each. This is very important because it helps cover the weakness in his natural defensive stats. His base armor and magic defense may be low for a tank, but his skills help compensate for that by adding shields, healing, armor, and magic defense. But here is the key point. 3 out of 4 Julius skills depend on physical attack. This is why his development priority is different from what many players may expect from a tank. When we think about tanks, we usually think first about armor, magic defense, and health. But with Julius, physical attack has a much bigger role because it improves the value of his shields and his overall protection. So when we ask how Julius really works, the answer is simple: Julius depends on his shields. His armor and magic defense alone are not enough to protect him like a traditional tank. For this reason, physical attack should be one of the first things you focus on when developing him. Now let's start with skins. Julius has several skins: his default skin, masquerade skin, demonic skin, romantic skin, beach skin, and winter skin. From all of these, the highest priority is the romantic skin because it gives physical attack. And because Julius' shields scale with physical attack, this skin directly improves the main mechanic that keeps him and his team alive. After that, I would prioritize the demonic skin because it gives health. Health is always valuable for a tank, and with Julius, it helps him survive longer while his shield cycle keeps working. Then we move into armor and magic defense. These stats are still important because Julius stands in the front line and will take pressure, especially when his shield is down or when the enemy team can break through his protection quickly. Armor helps against physical damage, and magic defense helps against magic damage, so both have value. After that comes strength. Strength does give some value because it increases health and physical attack, but compared to the direct value you get from the physical attack skin or the health skin, it gives less impact as a priority. And the last skin for me is the winter skin, which gives armor penetration. Personally, I do not see a strong reason to prioritize this skin for Julius. I have not developed this skin myself because Julius is not mainly used as a damage dealer. His damage is not the reason you bring him into battle. You use Julius because of his shields, team protection, healing, and defensive utility. So armor penetration does not give him the same value that physical attack, health, armor, or magic defense can provide. Now let's move to items. With items, there is not much freedom, because every rank has specific items that you need to complete. But when you have the option to choose what to craft or improve first, you should prioritize items that give physical attack. After that, you can focus on armor or magic defense, depending on what your Julius needs more at that point. Again, the logic is the same. Julius is not a classic tank who only wants defensive stats. His shields are the foundation of his protection, and physical attack supports those shields. So whenever you see physical attack available in his development path, this should immediately catch your attention. Now let's talk about glyphs. For glyphs, the physical attack glyph has the highest priority. This is the most important glyph for Julius because it directly supports his shield-based mechanics. After that, I would go with health, because health helps him survive as the frontline hero. Then you can continue with armor. These are still useful because Julius can be exposed when shields are broken, and the enemy team will still attack him directly in many situations. After that comes strength. Strength has value, but it is not as direct as physical attack or health. And finally, the last priority is critical hit chance. Critical hit chance is not a main stat for Julius. He is not a main damage dealer, and building critical hit chance on him will not add a lot of value compared to the other glyphs. So for me, this should stay as the last glyph priority. Gift of the Elements is straightforward. There is no special priority here, because you do not choose between different stats in the same way. You simply develop it as part of his overall progression. Now let's move to artifacts. Julius has 3 artifacts, and here the order is important to understand correctly. His first artifact is Catalyte Dish. This is his unique artifact, and when Julius uses Defense Meowtrix in battle, it can activate and give bonus critical hit chance to the whole team for 9 seconds. This artifact can be useful, especially if Julius is fighting together with physical damage dealers who benefit from critical hits. But when we are talking about Julius himself and his personal development priority, this is not the first artifact I would rush. Julius is not there to deal critical damage. His main job is to protect the team, keep shields active, and stay alive long enough to repeat his defensive cycle. The second artifact is Warrior's Code. This one gives critical hit chance and physical attack. For Julius, the physical attack part is very important because, as we already explained, many of his key mechanics scale with physical attack. More physical attack means stronger value from the parts of his kit that depend on it, especially his shield-based protection. The third artifact is Ring of Strength, and for me, this is the most valuable artifact to prioritize for Julius. At max level, Ring of Strength gives 6,249 strength, and that translates into around 250,000 extra health. That is a massive amount of survivability for a frontline hero. And this is why I value Ring of Strength so highly. Julius may rely heavily on shields, but he still stands in the front line. He still needs to survive pressure, especially when his shields are broken or when enemies attack very aggressively. Extra health gives him more time to stay alive, activate his skills, and continue protecting the entire team. So my artifact priority for Julius would be Ring of Strength first, Warrior's Code second, and Catalyte Dish last. Of course, artifacts use different materials, so this does not mean you completely ignore one while developing another. You can improve all three when you have the resources. But when we speak strictly about priority and value for Julius, I would focus first on Ring of Strength for the huge health boost, then Warrior's Code for physical attack, and finally Catalyte Dish for the team critical hit bonus. Now let's talk about Ascension. With Ascension, there is also not much complicated decision making, but whenever you have the option to prioritize physical attack over another stat, I would go with physical attack. This follows the same logic we used throughout the entire guide. Julius gets a lot of his value from his shields, and his shields are connected to physical attack. So the main idea is clear. Julius is not a normal tank, and he should not be developed like one. His real strength comes from shields, defense matrix, healing, and team protection, and that is why physical attack has such high priority. Build him around the mechanics that make him powerful, then support him with health, armor, and magic defense. Leave critical hit chance and armor penetration for later, because they do not bring the same value to his main role. Now tell me in the comments how you are developing your Julius. If this guide helped you, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Hero Wars guides. Build smart, protect your team, and make every resource count. Salute and friendship.